souls. In this moment of our shared journey, may you feel witnessed and honored wherever you are on your journey. And may you remember that whether you are here for the first time or the 1,000th, whomever you are, whoever you love, whatever your ability, gender, beliefs, political affiliation, or documented status, you're welcome here and you're never alone. Let us now greet our neighbors, especially the new or returning people. Good morning. Welcome to all who are with us in the moment and those who will be catching us later on. I'm John Murphy. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be serving as the worship associate for today's service. And I'm serving together with Nancy Olson, Acting Director of Faith Formation, pronouns she, her, and our guest minister, UUA Congregational Consultant, Reverend Sarah Gibbs Millspaw, who will be joining us virtually later on in the service. This is something she will talk about, changing living systems. Our settled minister, Reverend Katie, will be back next Sunday. If you're visiting this morning, we are so glad you're here with us. People of all ages are joyfully welcomed in the service, as you can see. Nursery care is available if that option suits you. I invite everyone here to complete a connection card. This card helps us know how best to stay connected and support you on life's journey. And our caring team is an extension of the ministry team and is here to support you. And you can reach them by writing a note on your connection card that I just mentioned, calling the church office, or by email, pastoralcare@allsoulsindy.org. As we begin our time together, we acknowledge the land itself and those who have sustained it through the generations. We are on the unceded land of the Miami, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people who were pushed from their land and whose children have been stolen for generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make reparations. I want to make one quick announcement. The October packets are available now, and you can pick them up in the social hall, Harris Hall, at the Connection Center, okay? So if you want to get those materials and follow along over the month, please pick up that packet. Let us center ourselves with these words by Howard Thurman. Look well to the glowing edge. All around us, worlds are dying and new worlds are being born. All around us, life is dying and life is being born. The fruit ripens on the tree. The roots are silently at work in the darkness of the earth, against the time when there shall be new leaves, fresh blossoms, green fruit. Such is the growing edge. It's the extra breath from the exhausted lung. The one more thing to try when all else has failed. The upward reach of life when weariness closes in upon all endeavor. This is the basis of hope in moments of despair. The incentive to carry on when times are out of joint and men have lost their reason, such as today. The source of confidence when worlds crash and dreams written into ash. The birth of the child, life's most dramatic answer to death. This is the growing edge incarnate. Look well to the glowing edge.
Kathy Kozlowski and her grandchildren, Olivia and Luke, will be lighting our chalice this morning. Thank you. This ritual of lighting our chalice reminds us to continually renew our promise to live into the covenant, to put love into action, and to live in this community of love and justice that we aim to be. So please rise in body or spirit as we say these adapted chalice lighting words from James Villa Blake, the very same words that we have said since 1903, and they are printed in your order of service celebration in Spanish and English. We will say them in Spanish first and in English. And if you're online with us, please let us know where you are lighting your chalice. And I need to watch this. Amor es el espíritu de iglesia, y al servicio es su ley, vivir juntos en la paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y nos unirnos este nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. And please stay standing in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 1064, Blue Boat Home, in your teal menu.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and the moon my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, the making away by the light of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe in the ocean I travel, in the earth is my blue boat home.
Please be seated. I have a poem here from Fred Lamott. He is an interfaith college chaplain and an instructor of world religions. My ancestry DNA results came in. My ancestry DNA results came in, just as I suspected. My great-great-grandfather was a monarch butterfly. Much of who I am is still wiggling under a stone. Well, I'm part larva, but part hummingbird too. There is dinosaurs in my bone marrow. My golden hair sprang out of a meadow in Palestine, and Genghis Khan is my fourth cousin, but I did not get his dimples. My loins are loaded with banyan seeds from Sri Lanka, but I descended from Ravana, not Rama. My uncle is a mastodon. There are traces of white people in my saliva. 3.7 billion years ago, I swirled in golden dust, dreaming of a planet overgrown with lingams and yonis. More recently, say 60,000 BC, I walked on hairy paws across a land bridge, joining Sweden to Botswana. I am the bastard of the sun and moon. I can no longer hide my heritage of raindrops and cougar scat. I am made of your grandmother's tears. You conquered rival tribesmen of your own color, chained them together, marched them naked to the coast, and sold them to colonials from Savannah. I was that brother you sold. I was that slave trader. I was the chain. Admit it, you have wings vast and golden, like mine, like mine. You have sweat, black and salty, like mine, like mine. You have secrets silently singing in your blood, like mine, like mine. Don't pretend the earth is not one family. Don't pretend we never hung from the same branch. Don't pretend we don't ripen on each other's breath. Don't pretend we didn't come here to forgive.
So I ask you to please join me. Take a few moments to notice that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. And I'd like to mention a couple of things. We hold in our hearts Aileen Clunan, who fell recently and broke her right humerus bone. She is recovering at home and would appreciate hearing from church members. And I'm so glad to see Faith Long here today. She is home after a brief stay in the hospital. Glad it wasn't any worse than it was. In our wider circle of concern, we are mindful of those in our midst who are experiencing broken hearts, heartache, or other difficulty in their lives. May you be granted healing and restoration. I invite us now to take a brief moment of silence, contemplation and reflection. Thank you, All Souls members, for your love and concern for one another.
Please rise in body or spirit as you're able to sing together, Turn, 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 which is the words of which are in your order of service. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time to break, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To
everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rent, a time to sow, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven.
Seated. So today we're going to enjoy a virtual presentation by Sarah Gibb Millsball, who is a UU Congregational Life Consultant. So if Teddy, you guys can cue up our video. Thank you.
On Election Day 2016. Yes, remember that day? On Election Day 2016, I started to plant a garden. To take control of something, anything, and beautify that little plot of earth behind the condo that my family had recently moved into. Feeling distressed about our culture, our nation, feeling despair about climate change, I thought I would make this backyard not just beautiful, but an expression of my spiritual values. Now, this is a small backyard, about the size of a typical living room, and most of it was taken up by a patio. I didn't have a heck of a lot of soil to work with, but I plodded ahead anyway. First, I brought out the beauty that was already there by weeding carefully, fertilizing the roses and the like. And then I purchased native plants, so threatened in our area where new houses swallow sagebrush-covered hills every day. I bought a house for solitary bees and planted flowers that they would like. And with great expectancy, I bought some milkweed, envisioning generations of monarch butterflies birthed at our home. Well, all of this was going well until I brought in the veggies. First, it was the demise of the spinach, taken down by mites. Then it was the kale, devoured by aphids. I started to apply organic pesticides, but I realized that I couldn't. They would hurt the butterfly larvae. So I bought some ladybugs to eat the insects off of the veggies, and they all flew away or died. So I planted new kale and spinach, but then I noticed something was coming in and eating that new kale and spinach. Birds. So then I built this whole ugly contraption to scare away birds from the garden. This garden, my garden, wasn't very pretty anymore. And then one day, workers came to fix the patio, and a nest of 5 rats ran out from underneath. Oh my. Actually, the rats were the veggie eaters. Now, did I mention that we're vegan in my family? Now we were vegans with a rat problem. I was already feeling like this little yard was putting my values at cross purposes. And then we got a dog. who loves to dig and lie in dirt, and she trampled the carefully nurtured native plants as well as the kale and the onions, and she came very close to squishing precious monarchs. This yard, this expression of my spiritual values, became an illustration of the interdependent web, but not in just a pretty way. It became a system at war with itself. Have you ever experienced that too, at home, in life, or here in your congregation? Feeling that despite your best efforts at all good things, things are just not working. Every little intervention you make just causes some new problem. Feeling like you're within a system that you just cannot seem to control. We Unitarian Universalists talk a lot about systems, the justice system, the economic system, the systems that are out there, our solar systems, and in here, our digestive systems, the social systems that we're caught up in. And unless you believe in an all-powerful God, you've probably come to recognize that no one thing and no one is in charge of a system. A system is really a community, a complex community of beings, each with its own behaviors and purposes. And like my backyard, the results of a system say more about it than the values and efforts that went into it. It's not just the thought that counts. I serve on the Congregational Life staff of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and this means that I support the living systems of congregations. I partner with you to tend to the health of your congregation's systems. And our congregations, like my backyard, can find ourselves all tangled up. We face conundrums like we value radical inclusion, but we also value kindness and good boundaries. So what does it mean to be radically inclusive of someone whose behavior is harmful or inappropriate? Those values can come into conflict in the life of a congregation, or times when we clean up our policies and our procedures only to find that no one follows them and loosey-goosiness persists. Or times when a congregation's bylaws say who's really in charge here, the board, but the system knows it's really Sally and Joe who are in charge. In a complex human system like a congregation, there can be so many layers upon layers of values and meaning and culture and the way things have always been done that it can feel pretty hard to change things. It can be hard even for someone in a position that we might ask to make change, like our congregational president, even our minister. A living system is naturally resistant to change. And the whole system needs to be taken into account if we are to transform a congregation, a backyard, our world. This is a very, very challenging time to be a person in the United States. So much anxiety, fear, hatred, so much violence, so much othering. It tears at our hearts. It is hard to know how to respond when every day there is another thing to be outraged about, another example of cruelty, autocracy, and more. This is not what we were supposed to be like, not how we were supposed to be as a country, as a world. We are Unitarian Universalists because we believe in the human capacity for goodness, and yet there is so much evil. But at the same time, something else is emerging, a new sense of our power as people. Several deeply interconnected, creative, and wise movements of people working together, not only to challenge the evil, but working to make love prevail. Movements rising up as if from nowhere, catching hold, changing the course of our lives, changing the course of history. This emergence of love-based activism can surprise our nation. Why that time? Why those people? And this is the heart of what I want to share with you today. Beauty and power emerge in unexpected places when we've been tending to our living systems, planting the seeds and nurturing the roots. The contemporary activist Adrienne Maree Brown sees emergence as a key strategy for how we change the systems of our lives to be more loving and more just. Her book, Emergent Strategy, integrates justice work and sci-fi and queer and Black lives, and she explains emergence this way. Emergence is the way complex systems and patterns arise out of a multiplicity of relatively simple interactions. There are examples of emergence everywhere. She continues, emergence is beyond what the sum of its parts could even imagine. Oak trees don't set an intention to listen to each other better or agree to hold tight to each other when the next storm comes. Under the earth, always, the oak trees reach for each other. They grow such that their roots are intertwined and create a system of strength that is as resilient on a sunny day as it is in a hurricane. Dandelions, she continues, dandelions don't know whether they are a weed or a brilliance, but each seed can create a field of dandelions. We are invited to be that prolific and to return fertility to the soil around us. And what emerges from these cycles, she continues, are complex organisms, systems, movements, societies. Nothing is wasted or a failure. Emergence is a system that makes use of everything. End quote. I invite us to think of those oak trees. Under the earth, they reach for each other. They grow such that their roots are intertwined. How are we reaching for one another in this congregation? How are we reaching for each other in the United States? As politicians sow cruelty and division, how are we reaching out and building connections instead? How are we reaching for each other beyond our border, across the world? What sort of things might emerge if we but built the relationships, the connections, the connecting? Waking up to the ancestry DNA results that just came in for all of us, that we are, each of us, deeply interdependent, deeply indebted to all people and all life. Realizing that we are related to and in relationship with everyone and everything. Feeling awe and wonder and love for this tremendous experience of life we share. Love for one another, love for those who are different from us, love for the creatures, the microorganisms, the earth, resisting with all our might the forces that tell us that we are separate, that they are other. The early 20th century activist minister Howard Thurman counsels us to look well to the growing edge. All around us, worlds are dying and new worlds are being born. All around us, life is dying and life is being born. The fruit ripens on the tree. The roots are silently at work in the darkness of the earth against a time when there shall be new leaves, fresh blossoms, green fruit. All around us, worlds are dying and worlds are being reborn. Howard Thurman didn't say this lightly. He grew up in the early 20th century as a Black person in the segregated South, where he witnessed everyday legalized terror targeted against him. He did most of his work in ministry in a time when there was no certainty at all that legal segregation would end. There was no proof that nonviolence could change the world. But all the while he was planting the seeds, nurturing the shoots, looking at the life-giving possibilities for equality and freedom. And without knowing it, he built relationships and made connections that in the 1950s blossomed into an unstoppable civil rights movement. Where is this growing edge in our living system? The living system of your community. Where is that growing edge? The living systems of your town, your country, your county, your state, your province. Where is that growing edge? What shoots are arising here? What roots are spreading underground? The systems thinker Donella Meadows tells us the future can't be predicted, but it can be envisioned and brought lovingly into being. We can't surge forward with certainty to a world of no surprises, but we can expect surprises and learn from them and even profit from them. We can't impose our will on a system. We can listen to what the system tells us and discover how its properties and our values can work together to bring forth something much better than could ever be produced by our will alone. We can't control systems or figure them out, but we can dance with them. I am in a dance with my backyard. The backyard is in the process of becoming, and as a player in that system, I keep watching and learning from it. There was a time I thought I'd made a perfect haven for pollinators, but then came grasshoppers and powdery mildew. I'm always having to adjust and rebalance and pay attention to how the system is changing and what the system needs. Just like in a congregation, just like in life. Keep participating, keep tending, keep dancing, keep living into the living system. Through all of the ugliness, we have faith that beauty and life-giving powers will emerge. So may it be. Amen.
Each week, we gather together to align our giving with our values. We give to support the mission and ministries of our congregation, and we also share half of our weekly offering with an organization whose values align with ours. This week, we are donating to the Unitarian Universalists for Social Justice, UUSJ. This is a partnership of congregations, organizations, and individuals deeply committed to social justice. To contribute, you can place a cash or check in the collection basket, or if online, you can go to our website, allsoulsindy.org, where you'll find a link that says Give to All Souls Here. Please indicate if your gift is a pledge payment or if it is for Share the Plate, if you're contributing online or using a check. So thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another and for this world. Take this moment to make your gift. Morning offering will now be gratefully given and received.
Yeshua,
Thank you, Jane. We close with the words of Keshaven Nair. With courage, you will dare to take risks, have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. Courage is the foundation of integrity. Go forth from this space with great courage, with a sense of what keeps you with integrity. I ask you now to take your gray hymnal, number 354, and please stand in body or spirit as you are able and sing with us. Please stand.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need those friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found our need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe that sharing is an answer. A child is born among us and we feel a special glow. We see time turn us journey as we watch the baby grow. We thrill to hear imagination freely running wild. We dedicate our lives and hearts to the spirit of this child, and we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found a time to be together. And with the grace of age, we share the wonder of youth, and we believe that growing is an answer. As our first wonder and our time is very brief, the death of one among us fills us all with pain and grief. But as we live, so we die, and when our lives are done, the memories we shared with friends, they will linger on, and we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow. We have the gift to believe that peace within our living is an answer. We seek our answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all we waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question Hosanna.